Good afternoon, Full Throttle faithful. We are here live at the Battle at the Glen 45 for what is going to be 45 laps here at Watkins Glen, Chris. It is going to look like we are going into also round two of the playoffs here, so we'll see some more drivers working to try to get themselves not eliminated. As if you're wondering what's going on right now, we saw the Jaden Bingaman in the Discord asking for some qualifying this week. So we're going to see some qualifying. We're going to see how it works out on the ovals here within the next week, too. We will start broadcasting some qualifying for you. But when it gets on the ovals, it gets a little bunched up. And it's not like, watching it on whatever channel you watched qualifying on, back in the day. It's kind of harder to get all the qualifying drivers. But we will work on trying to figure out how to get some qualifying to you guys here and get it to you in a very good way. Here with these road courses, though, it will be a lot easier. We'll see these spread out runs here. I know here, Chris, in practice, drivers like Joshua Gaiman, as we see, I was going to say Kevin Click, he jumped up to pole right now with a 111.95. But I did see about four drivers. I want to say it was Kevin Click. I know it was Joshua Gaiman. Oh, goodness, I'm trying to remember who else it was here. So it looks like Chris Lynn's going to set a 113.71. But yeah, I saw about four drivers. Josh Schusse as well. I know, and I want to say it might have been Jaden Bingaman, actually. I think those were the four drivers that were in the 111s earlier. We'll have to see how these guys get through here, though, as we'll ride on board with just a moment with that Chris Lynn machine. As we did see his Turn 2 Terribles teammate set that 111.95. As I wonder if Kevin Click is still on a banger lap here as we see Chris Lynn go down the front stretch, not the front stretch, excuse me, the chute down here into the chicane, as he's going to look like me trying to drive it on your rig the other day, Chris. All over the place.
Yeah, this
But
track is
run,
weird.
so.
Yeah, this track is weird, especially going down that straightaway into the inner. I guess you would say the interchange. I think is what it's called. I can't remember. Um, Inner loop. That's what it was. It's the inner loop. It's kind of weird. You getting slowed down. You know, you're basically cooking beans, and then you have to slam on the brakes right there at about the 500 sign. Then you got to get through this chicane really hard. Get into this
Go on
corner.
board with Joshua Gaiman here.
All right.
See Brett Strickler get wiggly right there coming out of that corner exit. As we'll go on to Joshua Gaiman's on board here as he's getting to the last couple quarters here on the track. As we'll see what he's going to do here. If he's going to set his fastest lap on his first lap, or if he's got anything left in those tires to try to go out there and get something on the second lap. So far, a 112, that's his slowest lap I've seen out of him so far. As earlier during practice, he was running in the 111s. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to make it up here. As going into turn one, down the chute, up the hill through the S. Ooh, big loose. So he is willing that thing through there. But a good looking machine on that 33 of Joshua Gaiman. As it looks like Lucas Nilges is going to set himself up into third place, 112.87. Joshua Schusse with a 112.69, so it seems like everybody that was running very fast in practice, not able to replicate that here on their first run. We'll have to see if there is any more time in these second runs for some of these drivers. As we hop on board here with Josh Schusse, he is also on his second lap. That 81 Hello Kitty machine looks like it's coating a little bit newish of a livery. He's changed it up some there, as we'll see that 81 go down here into the chicane, hit the brakes, downshift, bang. So now you're going into what, third gear? As we'll see him, ooh, get really wide here. That might go against track limits.
Track limits. This is NASCAR.
Well, you do still get off tracks
I
if you do
know.
a little crazy. As Joshua Gaiman did set a 111.23 on that second lap.
See what Susie has to offer here on this second lap.
111.725. That's going to put him up into P2 currently. Only a thousandth of a second off of that Kevin Click machine who set P3. We'll go on board here with Jeremy Zarfos as he finishes his last lap soon. Looks like we are catching a couple drivers on their last lap. We still do have a couple drivers as Matthew Fitz. He's almost three-quarters of the way through his lap. I'm going to go wide here just a little bit. As for his first lap, it'll be a 1:14.5. That's going to put him currently slowest out of everyone that's qualified. So maybe the road course is not Matthew Fitt's best friend right now. We'll see William Brown, though, as he will come through the inner loop, through the outer loop.
Yeah, this corner right here, as you're coming down the hill, you have to get really wide there sometimes, but, you know, it's kind of hard to stay on the gas coming down that hill. The rear end will try to get out from under you a lot. So this is going to be what we're going to watch here tonight, is going to be coming down the hill from turn 5. So that's going to be our main thing to watch.
Yeah, that, especially right there in the inner loop as well, Chris. It's almost like, you know.
And turn 1 right here. That's going to be
this
where
is
everything
like a 90
happens.
degree turn. They do call this the 90, so it's pretty much a 90-degree turn here down into turn 1. Is you get up here to the S's, though, it's one of those things, if you're not maintaining speed and hitting it exactly correct, it's very easy to hit this inside wall right here, go off into the grass a little bit, get the car around, whatever. It's very easy to wreck pretty much anywhere on this track, but at the same time, you've got to be on edge the whole time. You've got to pretty much almost wreck the car. As we see Matthew Fitz roll up into 10th place. Got a second on his lap of 113.3, but that is going to put him into top 10 right now. We're all on board here with Matthews Arvos. It's Chris, if you want to hop on board with Jaden Bingaman for a second. The man who said let's see a little bit of qualifying. Me and Chris have done qualifying here before, but sometimes, like we were saying, with the, oh no, Jaden, no, that looks like me, Chris. As we'll get back to it, I say sometimes with these bigger fields, it can be a little bit harder to get on board here with some of these guys. So if we do miss your qualifying run here tonight, we do apologize about that, but we are just trying to see as many cars as we can right now and really give you a chance to see some of these cars going around on the track. That was his outlap, actually, so that is good. He missed it on his outlap, at least. As William Brown, we were on board with him just a minute ago, 113.13. That's going to net him into P9 right now. I don't think Brody Green, Robbie Baisha, Ryan Broderick, or Carson Pittman have came out of pit road yet. But it looks like we only have 40 seconds remaining, so they're not going to get a lap set. This will be Jaden Bingaman's only lap that he will be able to set here. So we have seen everybody improve on their second lap, so Jaden Bingaman's just going to have to hammer down here on lap 1 and get what he can out of this. Or will it kick him out of qualifying?
It will kick him out.
Or do we have a overtime,
No,
for qualifying?
No. It'll just throw the checkered flag and you race until it decides to kick you into the next session.
A lot cleaner through the S's, though, that time for Jaden Bingaman. We'll see right here. Yep, you're right, Chris. That's what I thought. So unfortunate for Bingaman, not going to be able to set a lap. I saw Ryan Broderick was coming out of pit road, too. He wasn't able to set a lap. Brody Green and Robbie Bice also did not set a lap, as well as Carson Pittman. But our grid is set. We'll let a couple cars pop in here. We do have a long lap, and we'll get through your starting grid here in just a moment for the battle at the Glen 45, where, man, I think this is going to be a battle for the top 4 here, right here, Chris, is Gaiman, Susie, Click, and Baum Jr. all qualified very, very close to each other. Just a couple tenths off of each other, as we'll go ahead and get on board with your pole sitter at that 33 of Joshua Gaiman, that Nitro Racing. And it's a slick-looking yellow, Chris. It's not one of those yellows that make you want to, punch your eyes and, make you not be able to see out of them. We knew some of those yellow race cars out there look bad, but all the guys here have some good taste in livery, and Joshua Gaiman coming in with that nice yellow Nitro Racing with the W on the front. Good to see the 33 up there in that pole position. Trying to stall here, waiting for Sushi, man, but I said Sushi, but Susie. But I guess we're just going to have to sit here and talk about the mustard bottle a little bit more. As the 33 of, I'm just kidding. As, man, we are, like I was saying, Chris, seeing some really slick race cars out there tonight. We'll wait here just a few more seconds. If Sushi doesn't pop up, we'll go ahead and get through the rest of the grid here. As, there he is. Yes. Woohoo. 81 of Josh Susie. He is going to start P2 here tonight. We're going to have to start finding them, when they don't show up for their grid on time. As Kevin Click is going to be in that P3 position, with Ken Baum Jr. in that P4 spot. Kyler McCarthy in P5 with Bill Hells starting in that P6 position. You're going to see Lucas Nilgis in that P7 position with Brett Strickler in P8. It doesn't look like William Brown has gridded up. here at the moment. He will be starting P9 in that number 9 machine. We'll get back on board here with him in just a moment. Oh, actually, I say that, and there he is. As you see that Sparkle Unicorn, number 9 right there, rolling off P9. Then you'll see David Smill Jr. in that P10 position. You got the 69 of Matthew Fitt starting P11 here tonight with Chad Engel in 12th. Chris Lynn going to start 13th with that Jimmy Barr machine starting 14th. You'll see Jeremy Zarfos in that 15th position with Jaden Bingaman in 16th, and then it'll be Ryan Broderick 17th with that Brody Green machine starting to his outside in that 18th position. And then Robbie Bice looks like he will round off your field in that 19th position with Carson Pittman not gridded. We'll see if he does come out on track, but he is your 20th position car scored. It just depends on if he does come out and actually race. But Chris, looks like we are guaranteed for a good race here tonight. It's got a lot of fast guys up there in just that top 5. As Chris right now has the points pulled up, we're going to go ahead and go through your playoff points here, going into what, the round of 12 now.
Yes, let me get it pulled up here, trying to figure out which button it is. I can't find the buttons. If I can't do it, I'll just, well, it is not showing. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and go through it the manual way. As Jeremy Zarfos right now is currently your points leader with Ken Baum Jr. in second, David Smill Jr. in third, Brody Green in fourth, Chris Lynn in fifth, Jaden Bingaman sixth, Jimmy Barr seventh, Joshua Susi in that 8th position, Kyler McCarthy in 9th, Robbie Bice 10th, William Brown 11th, Bill Hells in that 12th position, Matthew Fitz in that 13th spot, Lucas Nilges in 14th, Kevin Click in 15th, and Kip Easley, who I don't see on the track, is on that cut line in 16th position.
Was Kip here last week either?
Yes, he was. He got wrecked out. He did not get any points scored towards him.
Okay, I think I've been there now. Yeah, he was in that first big wreck, right?
First big wreck,
yeah. Yeah, the first big wreck. Yeah, that's why I probably don't remember him being in the rest of the race. But we are seeing him come down the backstretch, whatever you want to call this, into turn 6, getting ready to go to turn 7 here. And thank God they finally paved that out there in iRacing. You know, for years we raced Watkins Glen with the grass there, and it really taught me how to stay in track. But once they paved it, I've completely lost all manpower to slow the car down, and I go out there every time. But we will see that iRacing Porsche pace car, who I think might outrace these Cup cars a little bit, maybe, get off the track and green. We're going to see this Gaiman and Susi machine go off to that green flag. This lap number 1 is on its way. And Chris, if you're one of those Joshes in the front, you've got to think Susi here is the guy thinking, man, I got to get a win tonight. With 8th in points, I've got to do something here. Oh, when I say that, he's going to wreck Gaiman. Oh, he's going to slow down.
This is going to stack up everybody.
Man, there is no cautions, locally enforced cautions only.
Oh, fits into the back bumper of, does that look like? Brett Strickler, the 38 of Brett Strickler. I was trying to figure out who it was on track.
Did Gaiman get back going?
It looks like he did get back going.
Yeah, as I saw a yellow car coming up the S's. Man, unfortunate for that 33 machine. Fast race car here tonight, but hey, it's going to be one of those nights that you're going to have to go from first to last. One of those Yarno Opmir challenges, you know, on YouTube, where he goes first and last, 110% AI. It's going to be one of those. You're going to have to put your head down if you're in that 33 machine and hope that you can just get back into contention. Oh, who is that wrecking down the backstretch? Jimmy Barr? Big shot from the 12 to the inside wall.
Yeah, that's going to slow everybody up a little bit, but it looks like he's got it going again. Doesn't look like he's got any damage on the car. We'll have to see if we can. I don't have any markers for some reason. Just says off tracks. So, oh, actually there is one. See if we can see what happened there with Jimmy Barr.
I would assume he got loose coming out of turn 5 here on his own, yeah. Oh, he didn't hit the wall. It looked a lot more harsh from that front camera angle, so. Okay. A little less than what we thought, but we'll get back up on board here with Kevin Click and that Ken Baum Jr., the 2 turn 2 Terribles drivers, Chris, who also need something to go their way here tonight. It's going to be one of those things. And if you do wonder who are in the playoffs, you know, you're new to the stream, you're wondering who these guys are, you don't know who's who, the yellow playoff banners in the front window will indicate, and you also see there on the rear spoiler, the yellow rear spoiler, that indicates if you are in the playoffs. So if you see that, they are in the playoffs right now, and we are fighting through the round of 12 elimination. So if you heard about those drivers Chris was saying pretty much anywhere from the 12th position on back, you're going to have to score points here tonight. And I would say somebody like Josh Susie, Chris, with that early contact, he's lucky he didn't get himself involved. Being in that 8th position, even there, if you don't score any points here tonight, that's probably elimination for you. So it's crazy to think how dominant Susie has been all season. And if something like that was to end his race here tonight, oh, he's in on a win. Never mind. So,
we do have
yeah.
one more before we start chipping off. We do have one more race.
Is it? No, yeah, well, it's winning you into the playoffs. Never mind, I'm tripping. It's not like he can. Never mind, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. We'll get back up on board here. It looked like Chris Lynn was locking up there going into turn number 1. So you're going to see that pretty much all night. As we'll see Robbie Bice coming down pit road. Not sure what is going on with that 28 machine. As we'll go back down here into the inner loop. Big move here from Josh Susie as he's going to drive it right up to the back bumper of that Kyler McCarthy machine. As he'll go to the inside of his teammate here. We'll see if that 81 can get back up there and really work to get back what time he has lost from that initial contact there on the start.
Yeah, it does look like he's making up a little bit of position, though. He's moved himself up into that 3rd spot. So after that little bit of contact that happened with Joshua Gaiman, who is starting to make up a little bit of time. We see him getting around Bill Hells right now, so looks like Bill Hell's not having the best of times right now. Looks like he's down 11 positions. Joshua Gaiman, of course, you saw go off the front nose of Joshua Susie, so he's all the way back here in that 16th spot, but he's making up some pretty good time. He's got Jeremy Zarfos right there in front of him, that 29 machine. He's working the inside of it, and Kevin Click looks like he set the fastest lap of the session this time by, so 111.75, so a good lap from that 25 machine. Looks like he's a pretty good road course ringer, if you ask me.
I mean, yeah, Chris, and Kevin Click has shown speed on the ovals as well. Been one of those guys that might be. It's just if he can have the right things go for him, he can be fast anywhere. And on the oval side, Kevin Click's been one of those guys that's been caught up in some of the stuff. I honestly think he was one of those drivers that, lost out in the playoffs simply because of the misfortune. He kind of gets caught up, and he's one of those drivers that when he's no bad things go his way or he misses the wrecks, he always seems to have a good night on the oval. But like you said, Chris, here on the road course, he might be the guy that's going to be in charge here. And with Josh Susie and that Joshua Gaming machine, both joshing it up there on the start, who knows? This could be one of those nights that Kevin Click could find himself back in a win column. And hey, who knows? With Ken Baum Jr. breathing down his neck, though, we might see this coming in as you see that 99, or excuse me, not 99, the 2. Breaking it down, it was to a 90.99 gap, but now it's back up to a second as he was under a second there for just a moment. He's definitely got that turn 1 breaking down just a little bit harder. We'll have to see if he can catch him here down the backstretch as we'll see Brett Strickler, the number 38, coming down pit road. As Chris, I did see Robbie Bice get out of the race car. He has disconnected, so.
So he must have had something come up and.
Either that or he got halfway through the second lap and thought, you know what, this is just not going to be a good night for me. Getting out of here. I'm one of those guys.
Could be that way. It is unfortunate, but good to see him, still at least try to get out here and turns a couple of laps, As we're seeing Ken Baum still hold that same time frame to Kevin Click right now, about a 1 1/10 gap. Susie has got about a 3-second gap behind Ken Baum. Kyler McCarthy is right behind him. You see the gap between Susie and McCarthy starting to get a little bit wider, and now David Smill starting to knock on that back door, or back bumper, I should say, to Kyler McCarthy. So we might be seeing a change in that 4th position. If David Smill can get up here and play his cards right. It looks like Lucas Nilge's starting to peek back up into position. I saw he lost a little bit of time, but now he's starting to gain a little bit of time to David Smill, and then his Team Sparkle Unicorn teammate William Brown right behind him.
Like Lucas Nilge's livery.
Which William Brown does not have a banner on that car, but he is a part of the playoffs.
Kevin Click isn't a part of the playoffs, right?
You know what? Let me look one more time just to make sure.
Because I swear, Kevin Click's won, right, this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, he is in Yeah, he is in
Yeah,
there.
then I was thinking, but you know, he is still one of those drivers. I'm not taking away from what I said. Kevin Click probably could have won a lot more this season if it wasn't for the misfortune. So yeah, I do apologize about that. I didn't see the banner and I thought, I guess he's not in, but I was like, but Kid Bomb's in. I know he's in too. I can apologize about that, but we'll just
Yeah.
take what I said on that lap, crumble up in a ball, and just throw it away. Act like it didn't even exist. So we'll like find a way to edit that lap out and like play like some random YouTube music over it after the stream goes live or it goes off air. We'll just act like that commentary lap didn't exist.
Yeah, because I was like, I could have swore I just said his
Yeah,
name.
as I was saying it, I was like, I feel like I'm eating my words right now, but I ain't gonna lie. When you're talking, sometimes I was looking at all the beautiful liveries on the race cars, so I'm not paying attention.
As we just kind of cycled through the field here, you see Susie is still about 4 seconds behind Ken Baum. So not making up any time is that 81 machine. I'm seeing where is Joshua Gaiman. He's moved himself back up into 10th, so he's made up a lot of time. You know, just a couple of seconds, or just a couple of laps ago that I was talking about him, he was back in 16th position. Now he's moved up 6 positions from that. And he's starting to pull up to Chris Lynn and Matthew Fitch. You see in front of him. And Lucas Nilges is right. I want to say he is actually going into. Yeah, coming out of the. Or going into the S's is what I was meaning. So he's got a little bit of a gap behind him. William Brown also right behind him. So you see Chris Lynn looks like had a little bit of a mess up there. See Joshua Gaiman getting around Matthew Fitz. So now Joshua Gaiman knocking on the door of that 32 machine. See if he can get around him going uphill. I know that's a tricky corner to try to pass somebody. So it's a drag race down here. It looks like Chris Lynn just going to go ahead and back out and let that 33 machine get in there. And it looks like he dove in there a little too hard. As I was saying, it looks like he was going a little too hot in there. So see if we can, we'll have to blockbuster rewind this.
He just overcooked it, missed his braking zone. That, or he threw it in way too hard to the right and jumped the curb, and it just went and landed.
Yeah, it looks like
it
might have
the way he jumped and
just
landed.
cut it. Yeah, it looks like he cut the corner just a little too much. Jumped the curb. He's gonna have to make up that time that he just lost, but he's already on the back bumper of Matthew Fitz again. So he's gonna make up that time that he messed up. But you know, we've seen it. He's actually got a fast race car underneath him. We'll go back up here on board with Kevin Click. You see Ken Baum Jr. still on that back bumper. So right now they were just cruising up here. Susie is still, as I actually say that, actually lost time. So now Susie is about 5 seconds behind him, behind Ken Baum Jr. And then you see David Smill right behind him. And then the train of race cars he's dragging behind him, Kyler McCarthy, Lucas Nilges, William Brown, all in this 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th position. And then you go all the way back to that 32 of Chris Lynn, where you see Matthew Fitz and Joshua Gaiman are battling. Good pass from that 33 machine. As I say that, getting a little wiggly coming out of there, but he was able to keep it underneath him. Keep going, so Matthew Fitz going to drop back down to that 10th position.
Like you said, Chris, it's just going to be one of these things here tonight. Not like you said, but like you were saying when you were going through the field, just kind of a gap in some of these drivers. You know, we're going to see drivers definitely get into the gap. We're seeing that gap of Ken Baum Jr. and Josh Susie definitely starting to go, as it's now almost 5 seconds. So we'll just have to see. The drivers are just going to have to hang on. I mean, you're going to have to drive and pack until you literally are going to need gas. It's one of those things at a road course. You don't come in, you know, when you need tires compared to when you need fuel. Here, it's you stay out until you're almost out of gas, and you come in when you need to. Unless you need to literally come in for like personal reasons outside of the sim, you're staying out on a road course. Especially in a cup car. I mean, anything else you might come in, obviously, in a Formula car, and then if you break a wing, but in one of these cars, you're out there, so you're going to stay on these tires. You're going to have to manage them, and that's what I guess I'm trying to ramble into here, is managing these tires over this long run, having a gap in front of you. You know, when you're in a spot like Kyle McCarthy, sometimes it's a little bit easier to follow someone on a road course. You know, you have them as what you consider as your braking meter there. You can see where they're hitting their brakes. You know, okay, if I don't want to run into the back of them, I can brake a little bit earlier than what he did. Blah, 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 however it may be. So it's a little bit easier sometimes to stay in a flow. But when you're in these spots where you're in a gap, you can sometimes throw yourself off by missing your braking zone by just a little bit. That's where you can come into overcooking the tires, trying to save the race car, getting wide, you know, losing the rear of it, spinning a little bit, whatever it may be. Just pretty much wrecking but not wrecking. So you can definitely keep the tires up on a road course a lot of ways. Overdriving is just honestly the hardest way, but it's just gonna be one of those things here tonight, Chris. Is we're only 11 laps in. You got to think some of these guys got to be loose already. You know, not everybody's setups are probably feeling the same as each other's, obviously, with these open setups. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say
thinking about tire management and then also thinking about fuel management. It's definitely gonna be one of those nights. It could be difficult for some of these drivers.
Yeah, one driver that you know, as we were watching him drive past Matthew Fitz, is Joshua Gaiman was getting really loose as he was coming out of a couple of corners. So that, you know, that's something, you know, he's having to actually double drive it now. You know, he not only is he having to make up time that he's lost, he's having to actually try to catch the people in front of him. So he's eating that equipment up twice as hard, trying to make up that lost time. So I would say, you know, if anything, that's where it's going to come into play is you know, the longevity of it. You know, like you said, how hard are these guys pushing? You know, right now Josh Susi has cut the time down from Ken Baum to 4.3 seconds. It was almost 5 seconds, so maybe Susi putting a little bit of pressure on to try to catch up to Ken Baum. Or maybe Ken Baum and Kevin Click are kind of going on a conserve mode right now. But as I say that, I see somebody really wide out there. I want to say that it. No, it's not. This is the 38 of Brett Strickler. So he was letting everybody by.
Yeah, as I can see, he's going through the 90 down there in turn one. As you go back on board here, Kevin Click and Ken Baum coming out of the S's. You got to think this turn two Terribles teammate, Ken Baum Jr., is starting to apply the pressure a little bit here to Kevin Click. We're going to have to see how Click's going to respond, man. This car's jumping across the curbs right there into the S's. It's just absolutely a beautiful sight to see. As down here into turn five, like I said, it's got to be one of those things that you're thinking if you're Ken Baum Jr., am I trying to pass here or what's up? So we'll have to see how these two teammates are going to work here. But you got to think neither of them are really in probably the worst spot here in the playoffs. So I think they might be content here running in that first and second position. But we'll have to see it. You see a little bit of a lock up there from the 25 of Kevin Click on that right front. And I say that, down pit road comes Ken Baum Jr.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's a little bit of strategy play. We know that these tires are a little, you know, they're not like the ovals. You know, they can die really quickly on these road courses. So maybe Ken Baum doing a little bit of a strategy play, maybe trying to beat out that 25 of Kevin Click, maybe trying to undercut him, and see if he can try to clinch a win here tonight. Underneath him, we see he's just as fast as that 25 machine. So maybe Ken Baum having a little bit of a strategy play. We see he's already out of pit lane, 7.93 seconds. So maybe just a splash and go. Whoa, is Joshua Susi getting a little wide there on the chicane exit?
As the gap is kind of paused there between Susi and Click, 4.9 seconds. As you see a battle starting to kind of ensue behind that David Snow Jr. machine. You see Colin McCarthy, that's William Brown, Lucas Nilges. Whoa, it sounds like, yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like somebody's wrecking. And that would be that 38 of Brett Strickler going around back there.
Oh my goodness, I was muted that entire time. It looks like he was just gonna go ahead and let him go by. I was sitting there rambling on, talking, and I had my mic muted.
It did indeed. It's David Snow Jr. He's in that third position as he's starting to get into a little bit of position where, like we were saying a minute ago, he's got people starting to bunch up behind him. If they start battling, he's got to hope that they don't catch him before it happens. But right now, it seems like he's in a good position right there through the I thought he was gonna. I was just listening there to his throttle work. There's the backstretch chicane. It seemed like he did get a little bit of a run away from that Colin McCarthy machine. He's right on board here with him. Get a look from get a look out the window at what he sees. That's what I was trying to say, and it all came out way too fast. I promise you, I did not have a stroke there. That was just ADHD and trying to talk 100% without getting any of the words out. I think I got like the beginning of every word out. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that one.
That one was good. That was good.
I hope Ryland was listening to that. If he's even here, but that was funny.
Yeah, I don't see him in the chat, so.
Boo.
Boo, no Ryland in the chat. But right now, we're kind of stagnated out in the field. Josh Susie has got still about a 4.5 second, 4.6 second gap between him and Kevin Click, but Kevin Click's still showing a really fast lap here. We're actually going to ride on board with him, as I see Jaden Bingaman actually might have had a little bit of an issue. As I see it says that he crashed. Let's see if we can actually, before we do what I was about to say, we'll ride on board to him. We see the 5 there of Ryan Broderick right in front of him. Oh, it looks like a little bit of contact with Ryan Broderick, the 26 getting around. That's not good for that 26 machine. But he got it going again. He's just gonna have to try to make up a little bit of time that he's messed up.
Run there. The chicane for that 25 at Kevin Click is a little bit wide, and then he's going to swing back to the apex here and get a good run out of turn 5.
Yeah, it's like I was saying, Joshua, when we get here to the front straightaway, we'll actually go on board here with that 25 of Kevin Click. We'll just listen, we'll just do a lap with him real quick. Just listen to how he's driving this course.
I was waiting for him to get down pit road that lap. Good drive in there to turn 1. He had a really good braking. He's a little bit up on the curve there. Not gonna be able to get, not gonna be able to get fully on the gas in the corner. But man, that might be the line he was actually taking. I think that set him up very well for up the hill. So I could just be mistaken there. That could be exactly what he was attempting to do. Is he's gonna get a good run out of the S's and down here into the chicane. Downshift. Downshift, jump the curb. Man, I love jumping that curb right there into the chicane. As he comes down into turn number 5, you see how he swings wide here, and then that sets him up to able to turn the car into the apex and drive pretty much in a straight line on the gas out. And then once the wheel straightens up, he's able to swing the car back out there to the right. We're going to get right here to where the blue wall goes in. We're going to brake, and we're going to shoot the car into this left-hander here. As you're going to see him get those right sides only up on the curb, a little bit loose, but he's going to manage it down to second gear, through turn number 7 and back to the front stretch. And you've just rode on a pretty quick lap on some pretty old tires with that 25 of Kevin Click, who's doing an excellent job.
Yeah, still setting a pretty fast lap. We'll actually see that was actually a little bit of a slower lap, 1:12.25. Susie set a 1:11.
Susie's moving right now. That was actually his best lap of the race.
That was actually a really fast lap from Susie. Yeah, everybody else set a 1:12. He set a 1:11.81, so he pretty much set a second faster lap than everybody.
see what Susie can do here. If he's able to keep up these faster lap times, almost a full second faster than every driver on the field, it's going to be bad.
Yes, it looks like, whoa, Jaden Bingham and Jeremy Zarfos.
Somebody alert the press.
It looks like they maybe just went off track, came back. I was just making sure. I'm seeing a little bit of markers coming around. So just double checking. Don't want to see anybody wreck out, especially your playoff drivers. As we've already got one playoff driver parked on pit lane, so that's unfortunate.
You know, I wouldn't be against lap 20 stage caution, only on road courses.
Yeah, just bunch everybody back up, let them go again.
Great. I think it'd be great. I mean, I know that the drivers probably don't want that.
The drivers
They're in the
wouldn't
lead,
want
but
that at all.
you got to think it's one of those things. I mean, the fans, I think we'd love to see it, man. Get them back bunched up and make them race again, dude. You know, and it gives the drivers an actual chance to all come down pit road, get tires, and not have to worry about it. As going on board here with that Kevin Click machine, we see he is racing that 91 of Brody Green for Brody Green's lap, and Brody Green is just going to pull out there and let him by. As I say, I know Brody usually is very clean when it comes to situations like that where he's got to let people pass him.
Yeah, but unfortunate being a playoff driver and going a lap down.
Hey, maybe just not the road course, kind of driver, man. It stinks, but it happens.
Look, I'm gonna say this: I am not a road course racer at all. I really wish I would have been able to race the Xfinity race with William Brown this past weekend, and I wish I would have been able to do that because I would have loved to at least test out my Xfinity run, but I didn't get a chance to show up. Niece and nephew came over and they were just, play this, do this, play this, let's go do this. So just kind of got stuck in that, and hate that I missed it, but I will say the couple of laps that I did practice, this track is tough. I mean, it's a fun track to race, especially right here. This going into the chicane here and then going around turn 5 right here. Oh my gosh, I love this part of the track. It's so much fun just trying to see how far you can push the car before it gets loose.
Yeah, this might be one of my favorite road courses to race in a stock car. It's so fast in the track, man.
I see Jeremy Zarfos having a little bit of issues.
Not only is this track technical, but it is fast. That's how what makes it so technical is that it's fast.
Is right now you see a gaggle of yellow banners. Like I said, William Brown also one of those drivers that is in the playoffs. So it looks like Lucas Nilge's coming down pit lane. Maybe just a splash and go for him. We'll see. We'll actually ride on board here with him real quick, just see what he does. See if 7 seconds is actually just a splash and go, or maybe Ken Baum took right sides as well. Wouldn't really see why taking only right sides, but hey, I've seen other things happen. But hitting his pit stall now. Don't see any tires going up. Looks like maybe it is just a gas and go. Yep.
I thought I heard Matthew Fitz saying he was coming down pit road.
Yeah, so the 69 of Matthew Fitz also coming down pit lane. So yeah, it looks like a gas and go only for Lucas Nilge's. Matthew Fitz also about to hit his pit stall. As you see up in the top right corner, we do have the track map up on the screen. You will be able to see your driver's numbers and their team. They're actually color coordinated per teams as well. So everybody has their own colors and teams. The pink here you see is the Turn 2 Terribles. Matthew Fitz also looks like on his
David
way
Smith,
out.
Kyle McCarthy, and William Brown all coming down pit
Yeah, I was
road.
gonna
This
say.
time is your 3rd, 4th, and 5th position. So that makes me think, when is Susie and Click going to come down?
Yeah, because we've only got 23 laps left in this race. Man, these road courses go by so fast.
Yeah, with the locally enforced cautions, it's one of those things that goes by so quick. And by locally enforced cautions, what that means is if a wreck happens in your sector of the racetrack, you get a caution flag until you get out of that sector. It's not like there's a caution flag and you have to slow down or anything. Obviously,
It's basically just
it's
a
just
watch out.
yeah. It's not even really a caution flag locally enforced. It's just like, hey, letting you know that somebody up there is wrecked and you could die going up there, but have fun. Like,
Pretty much. Yeah, it's just
pretty much what it is.
it's pretty much here you go, have fun.
Now, in real life, obviously, you wouldn't treat a locally enforced caution like that on a racetrack, but here in iRacing, it's all gas, no brakes, baby.
Arca brakes for the win.
For real.
As right now, Ken Baum's making up time to Joshua Gaiman again. Ken Baum came down pit lane. Joshua Gaiman has worked his way back up into that third position. Everybody coming down pit lane also did help him ascertain that third position. But
yeah, when he pits, it's going to be...
I just used that word, and I have no reason why I used it. I am sorry.
Because you're goofy.
I know, I'm weird. We're going to go on board here just to kind of see David Schmill. You see the Gagler race car still behind him. It looks like William Brown did come out in the better in that pit stop. He did move up a couple of positions in front of Kyler McCarthy and Lucas Nilges. He was the third person in that train. Now he is currently leading that train with David Schmill Jr. right in front of him. And then Ken Baum is about 17 seconds off of Ken Baum. And then 6 seconds off of him is Joshua Gaiman, who has not come down pit lane as well. So right now, your top three, Kevin Click, Josh Susie, Joshua Gaiman, have not come down pit lane. Looks like Brody Green is on his way down pit lane right now.
Well, you know how Josh Susie is with saving gas, man, so...
Yeah, and he's making up a lot of time. It was about 4.5 seconds, about 3.5 laps ago. Now he's down to about 3 and 2/10 seconds. So he's making up a lot of time.
Yeah, he's been slowly chipping off time, but like you said, these last couple laps, he's definitely been moving in a little bit more. You got to think it's either Kevin Click running out of tire early or Josh Susie just deciding to put the pressure on now. It looks like that Kevin Click machine will come down pit road.
Kevin Click come down pit lane.
Entered the pit lane, and it is down pit road. So now it's on to Josh Susie to see what he's going to do. But your race leader will come down pit road, and he will surrender the lead to Josh Susie.
Yeah, but right now, that's what we were looking at. Wonder when that 33 machine is going to come down pit lane. I'm wondering if him and Susie, now that they're first and second, if Joshua Gaiman's just going to throw out what happened earlier on and just go, all right, man, bygones be bygones. Let's just pit together and try to make up as much time as we can, or do they just push it all the way? That's going to be, because I know Josh Susie can. We've he has a crazy pit strategy. I know he'll probably have to come down pit lane, but he will push it as far as he absolutely can, to a point to where it kind of looks like he puts himself into a position where he can't lose. So it's going to be interesting to see how that 81 machine reacts here with that 33 machine. Oh yeah, Chad Eagle.
They're 17 seconds apart, so it really shouldn't matter what Josh Susie does.
Yeah, Susie down pit lane right now.
He just came down pit road.
Yeah.
Because when Gaiman pits, he's going to lose that time back anyways. So.
Yeah, you are correct.
I mean, I'm assuming Joshua Gaiman's going to move down to at least 4th or 5th position. At maximum, he's moving down to... He's going to move down to 5th position. If David Schmill catches him when he's down pit road, it would surprise me, but I think that's where he's going to come out on the track. Which is still better than where he was 27 laps ago. I mean, it wasn't. Yeah. He was in first place, but 27 and a half laps ago.
So Susie on his way out right now. So 7.68 seconds on that pit time. So a good pit stop there from Joshua Susie. Just hope he doesn't pull a me and, or actually Fitz. I want to say it was Fitz that last race. He said that he didn't set his I&I file up right, and he put like 6 laps of fuel in when he should have put 7.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with
That's why I hate the setup. I don't do good fuel calculations.
Yeah, I am terrible. Like, I'm already having to juggle the race car, and then I have to sit and do math. I'm already terrible at math, so I'm going to screw myself in the long run. With 18 laps to go, Joshua Gaiman's still out here in the lead. Has not came down pit lane, but that's the thing. He's only got Ken Baum right behind him, 8.6 seconds. So when he comes down pit lane, he is going to be surrendering a lot of positions because Kevin Click is also right behind him. And then 3.8 seconds behind him, the 81 of Joshua Susi. So right now, this is going to be when the 33 does decide to come down pit lane. Did you see the 69 of Matthew Fitz? Right now, it looks like he's gonna wash it wide, let the 33 go around him, then tuck it right back in behind him, which is what I would do. I mean, knowing, well, I mean, if you haven't realized that he has not come down pit lane, then that's what I would do. Go ahead and let that 33 get by him, so that way he just gets that lap or that position back whenever he comes down pit lane. But it doesn't look like he's gonna decide to come down now. Gonna stretch it out at least one more lap. Like I said, this is gonna be really, when does the 33 come down pit lane now? Right now, we'll go back here with Kevin Click and Ken Baum, as they are the closest battle for position on the track. As you're seeing Kevin Click really starting to run up on the back bumper of that 2 machine. He was about 2 seconds 2 laps ago, and now he's under almost half a second. Man, this is that 25 machine is moving right now.
Okay, and I lied to you. He's gonna move back, Joshua Gaiman. He's gonna move back to about 10th, right?
Yeah, he's gonna. Whoa, is Ken Baum going through the grass there a little bit, taking a little bit of a shortcut.
The timings were all messed up when I originally was saying what position I thought he was going to move back to. It said he was like 40 seconds off of David Smith, and I thought, oh yeah, he's got this by a mile. Now it says 20 seconds. So it's like, no, that's not right. That's not right. It's like he's definitely going to move back to about 10th. So Gaiman makes up time, but still not enough. We'll have to see what Ken Baum Jr. is going to be able to do here, though. He still hasn't come down pit road, correct?
No, he has come down pit lane. Yeah,
he did pit at lap 13. As I said, I remember him coming down very early.
Yeah, he was your earliest to come down pit lane. But like I said,
he's got the fuel, Chris, but he's going to be in kind of a conserve mode.
Yeah, he's going to have to be in conserve mode. And then he's got his teammate, Kevin Click, right behind him. So right now, once Joshua Gaiman comes down pit lane, this is going to be your battle for the lead between that 2 and that 25. It's just going to have to see how long does that 25 take to get around him, and how long does, the 2 hold him off. And then you see right there coming into the straightaway is the 81 of Josh Susi. So he's going to have something to say here. As I say that, the 2 machine going really shallow out of the chicane. That's going to mess him up.
Joshua Gaiman going to come down pit road this time. And we'll get our answer for real, Chris, where he's going to come back at.
Yeah, well, just down the front stretch, he's lost 3 positions. David Smill is about 29 seconds off of him, so he might actually come out. As I say that, actually. He's going to lose the 5th position. He's on his way out right now. So he dropped back 5 positions. And
Okay, maybe I was wrong.
he's going to be battling with David Smith, and we've seen him make up a lot of time. So
I mean, I was right originally. I just always go against my, you know, I seriously thought he was going to come down farther. Everybody else's pit lane time was like long. What was his?
his pit lane time was
38 seconds.
no, 8 seconds flat.
That's his pit time. His pit lane
Oh,
time.
pit lane time was 39 seconds. Yeah, 39 seconds flat.
I'm scratching my head. He had a 40-second gap to 10th place. I don't know, man. This
live timing is all kinds of funky.
No, it's not live timing. I think it's my math just doesn't math. How I made it through 12 years of high school, or 12 years of high school, but you know what I mean. How I made it through 12 years of school and all through high school and didn't fail math once is beyond me. Is beyond me, because I am horrible at math.
Right now,
I'm like illiterate when it comes to numbers, Chris.
Well, right now, Ken Baum, as you saw him coming out of the bus stop chicane, inner loop, outer loop, whichever one you want to call it, you saw him go really shallow through the grass, so it surrendered the lead to Kevin Click. But Josh Susi has now made up 2 seconds on Ken Baum, so he cut it down to under 6 seconds as I'm speaking. So Josh Susi is starting to reel in that 2 machine, and David Smill hasn't really made up any time. He's still got about a 14.5-second gap between him and Josh Susi. But Josh Gaiman is still on that back bumper. You saw him come out of pit lane between him and William Brown. And you see Lucas Nilge's right behind him with Kyler McCarthy on the end of that train. So this is going to be the battle that you're really going to look for position. I don't know why that all those cars sweeping out of the corner look really cool, but David Smill is kind of leading the train right now, trying to catch back up with Josh Susi, but not really able to make up any track position. Big drive in there. It looks like maybe Lucas Nilges might have had to get on the brakes there. It looks like he fell off a lot more than everybody else, and Kyler McCarthy also fell off a lot out of that corner. But we'll go back on board here with Kevin Click, see if he's got, looks like he's got the 38, I want to say that's 38 of Brett Strickler in front of him. It looks like he just passed Matthew Fitz, put him a lap down, excuse me. So Ken Baum is going to be battling it out with that 69 machine to try to get around him and get into that clean air. And then that's going to help Josh Susi, though. He's going to be able to make up a lot of time now. He's got it now to about a 5.5-second gap. It looks like Chad Engel having a... Actually, okay, I see what's going on. I'm seeing all these off tracks thinking that people are wrecking, but it's just because they're going really wide there in turn 7.
That's what I tell you. You can lose, and you can use qualifying for that. That's what I was saying, qualifying earlier. Well, Chris, I was going to butt in after you were finished right there and say that we've only got, 12 laps to go here now, so you've really got to get on your high horse. You know, you think 12 laps is nothing, but 12 laps can go by a lot quicker on a road course than you expect it to, especially when you're trying to make up time. So if you're someone like Susi and you're trying to pick up that win here tonight, I think it's time for him to try to get on the loud pedal as much as he can. He's got to make up some time, because it's not saying it's over for him. I mean, it definitely isn't, but with the laps closing in and ticking more and more, if you're not making up at least a little bit of time each lap, it's going to feel like you're in the next 10, if you've made up no time, have went by like a 2 laps. You know what I mean, Chris?
Yeah.
You just go back so fast when you're down time. So.
Yeah, and I was going to say he's actually losing time right now to Ken Baum. He was about 5.5 seconds there the last time, or when we first actually jumped on board here. And this entire lap, he's lost a half a second. So it's going to come down to if Ken Baum and Kevin Click, running into this lap traffic, as right now, as I want to say, Kevin Click has no more lap traffic in front of him until he gets to the 91 of Brody Green, which is coming out of the inner loop right now. So he's got a little bit of time before he makes it up. I want to say, though, got a lot of battles going back here in this 10th, 11th position to see Chris Lynn and Chad Engel. It looks like Bill Hells, Ryan Broderick coming down pit lane.
Yeah, Chris, he is just losing time now.
Yeah, it's now 6.2 seconds, so yeah, he's starting to lose time to Ken Baum. You see Kevin Click, he's losing a little bit of time, or excuse me, Ken Baum's losing a little bit of time to Kevin Click, but he's still got him reeled in there. You see, right now, Josh Susie is just now coming out of turn 7 down the front straightaway. Ken Baum's already exiting the first corner. Now he's got a couple of lapped cars that he's going to have to battle up once they're getting up to speed once he catches up to them.
But it's still not over for Susie. I mean, anything can happen with those drivers in front of him, Chris. So, if you're in that 81 camp, you got to just keep your head down. You got to keep digging. But right now, it's looking like Kevin Click is the car to beat here tonight.
Yeah, Kevin Click is really setting a lot of fast pace down here. But Josh, let's not discredit Ken Baum. Ken Baum is hanging on to that pace too. So, you know, Ken Baum's also showing a lot of speed out there on track.
And Chris, we are coming to 9 laps to go this next time by, so we'll have to see if Ken Baum Jr.'s got anything for his Turn 2 Terribles teammate here. But if not, it looks like Kevin Click is set up here to take home a victory at Watkins Glen, and a track that can definitely be difficult to take a race win at sometimes, but so far he's shown good race etiquette, or not race etiquette, I should say. I mean, he has shown good race etiquette, but more or less he's shown really good race pace and good composure. He's kept his wits about him. Don't want to jinx him here, but right now that 25, like I said, is looking like the car to beat for me, Chris.
Yeah, needs to get those playoff banners on there, so
yeah, I don't mistaken him for
not being in the playoffs. Yeah.
Even though you just said the playoffs, and I was completely dozed off, or zoned out. Excuse me, not dozed off, zoned out. Looking at all those beautiful race cars, man, because we had so many good-looking liveries right there rolling off the field tonight, as you'll see. All those grass marks right there. No, we have not had any lawn services done. That is just where we've had drivers going off. But you'll see that 81 or the radio to that, or get radioed to by that 69 Matthew Fitz, letting him go. He is going to get by. But now an 8-second gap, Chris. I just don't know if Josh Susie's got it.
Yeah, as you're seeing the gap between them right now, I went to the blimp cam just so you can see the gap between them. That's a lot of time to make up on a track, especially on a track like this. You know, you hear us every week say, you know, oh, they got 4 seconds, they got, you know, or they got 2 seconds, they got, 3 seconds. I mean, now Ken Baum and Susie, the gap's 8.3 seconds between them, so that's where it's gonna, he's actually losing a lot of time now.
And anything under 3/10 or a second, or 3/4 of a tenth. What's one? 7/10. I'll just say it that way. I don't even know how I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to sound all cool. Remember that number thing I was telling you about? I'm not good at them. So that, it's like 7/10 of a second on a road course. To anything above that, like 7/10 a second, second and a half, 2 seconds, it feels like you're a mile away from the car in front of you. So for Susie, it's one of those things. I mean, 8 seconds, man. That feels like they're in another county, another country.
It really does.
You might as well be talking to them, with your international call points or something. Cause
I will say that Ken Baum machine looks really good. That paint livery.
That Toyota always looks super good. Every race. I love the chrome red. I'm a big fan of that.
Oh yeah.
As Chris, he is starting to close in on that Kevin Cook machine. Here coming to 6 laps to go. This next time by.
As we'll go back here with Josh UCC. I'll keep an eye on that gap between Ken Baum and Kevin Click, as we're going to just see the gap between everybody. As you see, Josh Susie has got 14-second gap between him and Joshua Gaiman, and then behind him 4 seconds. As I'm actually clicking on Joshua Gaiman, he just set the fastest lap of the session, 1:11.44, so good fast lap there from Joshua Gaiman. Lucas Nilge, especially on these old tires. Lucas Nilge's about 5 seconds back from him, and then you see William Brown right behind Lucas Nilge's. Kyler McCarthy about 1.5 seconds behind William Brown. David Smill, Ryan Broderick is also 47 seconds behind him. So that's the difference between 8th and 9th place. And then you see Bill Hell's right behind him. Matthew Fitz is in that 11th position. Chad Eagle, you see him right there in that 12th position. Jimmy Barr in 13th, battling it out. We'll go back on board here with Kevin Click.
Starting 40, Chris.
Yeah, with 6 laps to go, though, Josh, look, that time is starting to slowly disappear between Ken Baum and Kevin Click. He had it underneath almost a half a second. Now
He just picked it up
big time, yeah.
And a wobble on the exit. If he hits this turn 5, turn 6 section good, Ken Baum Jr. could be setting himself up here out of turn 7 on the front stretch. But it looks like Kevin Click going to recover on that double apex corner of turn 5. And he's going to try to shoot himself up here, as there's no brake lights on these things. But he is going to slam on the brakes and get himself down there into turn number 6. And sweep it down here to this right-hander into turn number 7. So it's going to be the turn 2 terrible teammates. Yeah, Kevin Click is lining up that right front a little bit sometimes as he goes in there. Man, the flag man just scratched his nose. I didn't know he could do that. As we'll see Kevin, sorry, that caught me off guard. I've never seen him do that. We'll see Kevin Click defending Chris from his teammate. And the real question is, how hard will he defend?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the real question. I was also going to say it's not the flagman for Weber Valley, so he can scratch his nose.
Goodness gracious.
As right now, Ken Baum is got about a half a second between him and Kevin Click. Oh, it looks like William Brown crashed.
Is this a replay or is this
no? This is live right now. I was just seeing to make sure he was still going. It doesn't look like he is sideways or anything, so we'll keep riding on board here with Ken Baum and Kevin Click. As I'm looking at the distance on the track, I don't see anybody battling for any positions right now. Looks like about anywhere above a 1.5 second gap between everybody that would be for position. So right now, Kevin Click, Ken Baum is your closest battle on track. But it looks like, as I'm saying that, Ken Baum losing a little bit of time there to Kevin Click. Now almost a second gap between him.
That's Chris, 4 laps to go. We'll see what these guys are able to do. As down through turn number 1 and up into the S's. What has Kevin Click got left, man? I mean, we know that Ken Baum Jr. machine pitted at lap 13. Not sure what's going on with either of these drivers handling. And I don't know if they're definitely seem like they're doing decent. A 1:12.465 from Ken Baum Jr. on that last lap. So it definitely doesn't seem like their cars are too bad falling off. They're not as fast as some of the drivers out there still on some of these older tires. But, that's not going to help Ken Baum either. It seems like he might be trying to get it back all here too much, or all at once here too much, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say, going over those bumps, you see him getting a little sideways on exit. That's going to really mess up that speed. But as I say that, he's still keeping that gap about a second. He's not out of it. He's just kind of slowly rolling backwards. But he's not losing any time right now. It's just he's not gaining any time.
He's definitely going to have to re-lock in and hit every single one of his marks here if he wants to have a chance to win this race. He's not going to be able to keep messing up and having these small little mistakes. As we say, small mistakes. I saw a little bit of a lockup there from that 25 of Kevin Click going into turn 1, and that will help Ken Baum close that issue
a
little bit. Back up to 4/10 is the gap.
He closed it down to under a half a second. So you're seeing a little bit of lockup from that 25 machine. I've seen him, at least lock it up 7 or 8 times these past couple of laps. So this is going to be where Ken Baum makes up his time.
Big drive there through the chicane again in that inner loop from the 2 of Ken Baum right up on the back bumper here coming through turn 5. We'll see if he's going to have to sacrifice his exit speed for that, but he's going to get a good exit. Man, Kevin Click just seems to hit a NOS button or something there coming out of turn 5, Chris.
It's like he's just got a DRS button, or an energy button all the time.
Something. I was thinking more Too Fast, Too Furious NOS, but teach their own.
Too soon, Junior.
As we'll go here to lap 44, Chris. So 2 laps now until this race will be over. Oh, big drive in from Ken Baum, but he's going to stick it. He still has a position here to make a pass on this lap if he's just able to set something up here.
Oh, it looks like Lucas Nilges might have went around. But we'll go back on board here with Kevin Click as I see Lucas Nilges crash. Do apologize about the no replays here, but man, this battle that's going on for this lead. We don't want to leave and something go on.
As he is just so quick there through the inner loop. Did you say? No way. All right, well, I'll give you radio by radio here as we'll go into turn number 7. Sorry about that. We'll try to get this open back up as quick as we can. No, you're good, Chris. As they come across the start-finish line to start the last lap, white flag is out. It'll be Kevin Click down into turn number 1. Ken Baum Jr. right on his back bumper. It looks like he's going to run that turn 1 wide a little bit like he did last time. That's going to reopen that gap back up to a 7/10 second gap. As they'll roll up through the S's, it'll be 7/10 the gap from Kevin Click to Ken Baum Jr. As it down the back straightaway into the inner loop, you'll see Kevin Click get on the brake super hard. They're going to jump the chicane. Big driving. Oh no, the 26 is Jade Mingham reckoning in front of him, but he's going to go into the grass. It's going to be no effect to the race. Kevin Click, Ken Baum Jr. still 4/10 gap as they come through turn number 5. As Kevin Click, it looks like, oh, Ken Baum Jr. loose on turn 5. He's going to wiggle the car around a little bit. Yeah, I just saw where it says connection dropped due to upload packet loss, Chris. Unfortunate, as we'll see him come down here into turn number 6. Ken Baum still in this 4/10 back. If Kevin Click makes a mistake here, it could be Ken Baum Jr., but it looks like Kevin Click is going to go without that mistake. And here at lap number 45, drifting it out of the final corner, almost going into the pit wall. But Kevin Click is going to take the checkered flag, and that was Ken Baum drifting and almost hitting the wall. I do apologize about that, but Kevin Click going to come home scotch-free, and he will take your win here at Watkins Glen. So hopefully the fans can still hear me. Chris is reconnecting. Do apologize about that. That is just unfortunate that the race would crash like that.
Yeah, right with 2 laps to go, you said something, and as soon as I was going to change cameras, it just froze on me.
So they just stared at a black screen listening to my voice right now? I apologize that you have to listen to me. Well, you missed Kevin Click do his crazy little burnout in turn 1, but he has went back to pit road. Man, I hate that. Why does the stupid stuff always got to happen to us when it comes to the broadcasting? Well, hopefully my radio call, you could close your eyes and picture it. I tried my best there. And are you back? Okay, I was like, my iRacing is selecting cameras by itself. I'm really scared. Oh, and you're not going to be able to go back and see the last lap, are you? Man. What a bunch of tomfoolery going on up here. It's because you didn't put enough cheese in the hamster wheel, Chris. Does this mean post-race results are going to be messed up too? I can go ahead and get through them. I have them still, so I can just go ahead and say them off. I don't think Chris is going to be able to get the screen up for the post-race results, so do apologize about that. I hate that we have a crash right there, right before the last lap, but Kevin Click will come home in P1 with Ken Baum Jr. in P2. I think Chris got him up on the screen. As you'll see, Josh Susie in that P3 position. Joshua Gaiman going to be in P4. Kyle McCarthy P5 with Davis Bill Jr. P6. Lucas Nilge is going to finish 7th here with William Brown in 8th. Ryan Broderick going to finish 9th with Bill Hells in 10th. Matthew Fitz 11th with Jimmy Barr in 12th. 13th going to go to Chad Engel, with 14th going to Chris Lynn. You'll see Jaden Bingaman in that 15th position with Brody Green 16th, Jeremy Zarfo 17th, Brett Strickler 18th, and Robbie Bice finishing out the night early. He will be in that 19th position. I just saw. Okay. All right. And to get back on track here, do apologize once again about
Yeah, that
the
I don't know.
race crashing there. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
that's.
know what happened. I am so sorry about that.
But we are waiting on your racers for the post race interviews, as we have Kevin Click, Ken Baum Jr., and Joshua Susie to talk to. But once these drivers get up here in the booth, and it's like clockwork as I say it, we got Kevin Click and Josh Susie up there, but we'll go ahead and bring in your race winner. Have a word with Kevin Click, and then we will bring in second and third after that. Kevin Click, Chris, and Josh up here in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Kevin, got to say, it was an excellent night here from you tonight, man, in that 25 machine. With the early adversity there between the two Joshes on lap one, you were able to get yourself into a pretty much comfortable lead there. And, besides, with your teammate breathing down your neck the whole end of the race there, was able to stay very on rhythm. A little bit of a lock up there every now and then, but way to keep your composure. And, man, you're coming home with another race win here tonight. Take us through those final moments and, hey, just how did the car feel tonight? And, again, congratulations, man.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Josh and Josh get together there right on the start. I was not expecting that. I expected Joshua Gaiman to run away with it, but you never know what happens. I mean, you look what happened to me last week at Atlanta, and all it takes is for one thing to go wrong, and your night's ruined, and then you end up in the wall and all over. So happy to come in here, especially moving on to Bristol next week to get a win and move on to the next round. But I need to get that oval race win this year. I've had a couple last year, but haven't had a chance to put myself up there to get one yet this year. So need to do that here fairly soon. So we'll see what happens next week at Bristol.
Well, we know you're slowly climbing that playoff ladder, but you got to think tonight is one of those nights, Kevin, that, like you were saying, wasn't expecting yourself to even come in here and possibly win this race, thinking one of the Joshes or whoever may have been was going to go away with it. And like you said, anything can happen. It's almost like a flip of a switch with a light, and then next thing you know, you're leading the race and thinking, how the heck did I get here? So it's one of those things
Yeah.
you got to. Oh, excuse me.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, I know Ken was really fast too. And at the end there, all it would have taken was for me to put a wheel wrong one time, and Ken would have gone on winning without question. So, unfortunately, that's kind of what happened to him, and that's why, after that last pit stop, I was surprised that he came out in front of me. But, just kind of slowly kind of put some pressure on and hope the guy in front of you makes a mistake. And unfortunately, you hate when that's your teammate, but I'm happy to be able to get the win and not have to worry about going into Bristol and trying to get through the playoffs there.
And that's exactly what we were going to lead into right there, saying, man, you got to be, a little bit relieved going into a track like Bristol. Got yourself into the round of 12. You're not having to worry about elimination right now. And, with your oval misluck, or a little bit of oval, misfortune, I should say here, not very unlucky on the ovals a little bit this season. It's one of those things, going into after Bristol, you're going to have a fresh mind. You're going to be rejuvenated and ready to go, Kevin. So we got to say it's very, very excited to have you up here in the booth, man. And again, congratulations. Yeah, we did lose, like, I think half of the last lap completely. Chris, the game crashed on our stream for some reason, but I did radio broadcast it like that, so we do have it up there. We can't get a replay of it though, so I do apologize about that. But Kevin, if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, anything, man, before we let you go, we'll let you get out of here and get on your way.
Yeah, just got to thank everybody at Turn 2 Terribles. Got to thank Jay-Z Photography, everybody at Brent Mark's Sim Team as well. All the help that they give and keeping me doing this. So appreciate those guys. Have a lot of fun down there in our chat and Turn 2 Terribles and with everybody else too. So definitely appreciate you guys, and I look forward to a good radio broadcast now and then. So why not? So
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. It was one of those things. It was a misfortune, but hey, Kevin, again, congratulations, man, and hopefully we'll be talking to you. Who knows? Maybe next week at Bristol. We know how crazy those races can get, but
You never know. It's going to be whoever can come out without a wreck.
Exactly, almost like a controlled demolition derby, right? But Kevin,
Yeah.
we'll let you get on your way here, man, and celebrate that win again. Congratulations, buddy, and hopefully we'll be talking to you here soon.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And that was Kevin Click. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Ken Baum Jr., our second place finisher, and have a word with him. Ken Baum Jr., Chris, and Josh up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, Ken, it seemed like tonight, when the night started out early, you were going to be one of those guys that we were saying that was going to be to look out for, and you lived up to that for sure. Coming out there and putting it onto your teammate at one point, leading the race. You know, it seemed like you were on a completely different pit strategy than everybody else, pitting a little bit early. But it seemed like once you and Kevin got together, you guys were just kind of stuck to each other. And then there towards that last bit, we saw you definitely starting to run the chicane, the inner loop, whatever you want to call it, a lot harder, putting that time. But it just seems like you weren't able to really get there. Was it the tires? What was it that was making it where you weren't really able to grab and maybe pass for the lead there on Kevin again?
Yeah, I went into the race thinking either if I'm behind people, I'm going to pit early, and if I'm leading, I'm just going to run it till it's dry. But so I pitted early, and that helped there. But once I got to anytime I got close to Kevin, my car didn't feel the same, so it really didn't help me at all. Once I got the lead there. Well, it wasn't the lead, but it would have been the lead, and I just made a mistake in the bus stop, and that was all it wrote. And I just kept the pressure on him.
You definitely kept the pressure on him. We were thinking at any point you could have made that pass for the lead, and in that chicane section, you were definitely on the brakes a lot harder through there. But like you said, just maybe the car wasn't just handling right under the air, and we know how dirty air can be, especially on a road course. It's not fun being that second car in that run right there. But Ken, I gotta say, overall, you put up a valiant effort. You know, with the off strategy there, everybody staying on the same tires, you guys managed some very fast laps, and for what it was there at the end, you guys put on a very competitive race. And I got to say, even though it probably wasn't what you wanted, congratulations on that second place finish, man.
I'll take it going into Bristol. Who knows what's going to happen there. Got the points lead right now, but I could go into the race and be the first car out and automatically get knocked out. You never know. Just got to take it how it is. I'm happy my teammate won. Congratulations to Kevin. So it's back-to-back second places with my teammates winning. So I mean, I would rather win, but I'm glad to see those guys winning. So I ain't that disappointed.
Understandable. I mean, you definitely want to get your own piece of the cut sometimes. So, Ken, like you said, anything can happen at Bristol next week, man. And we're hoping it's one of those things that it's not going to happen to you or any of the drivers that are definitely trying to get in. Hopefully, we just have a good short track race. We know there's going to be cautions, but hopefully, we don't get anything too crazy. And we will be able to talk to you after this round of 12, man, and or into the round of 12 and get you going for the rest of the season. But Ken, if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, man, anything before we let you get out of here, you're more than welcome to throw them out there and we'll let you get on your way.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank the Turn Two Terribles racing team. We working hard and it's showing in these playoffs in the first round so far. So I'd like to thank those guys. Turn Two Terribles podcast, Jeremy Zarfos photography, my girlfriend, my daughter. I love their support, and we're gonna keep digging to try to get this championship.
All right. Well, Ken, again, congratulations, man, on your finish here tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you here soon.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thank you, man. All right. We're going to go ahead and bring up your final interview, Joshua Susie, and have a word with him. Joshua Susie, Chris, and Josh up here in the booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Man, Josh, I got to say, it seemed like it was going to be one of those nights that you two Nitro guys up there, Joshua and Joshua, we're going to have a good night. You guys seem very fast in the practice, and unfortunately, it seemed like just a little bit of lap one contact there. What really happened? I mean, we weren't able to get back to the replay fast enough with all the action. Or was it a little bit of contact across the nose, or was you guys just tight there coming off the corner? I mean, it could have even been net code there. I'm not too sure what happened exactly, but was it just one of those loose starts on the start there, or do you think you guys just maybe overstepped a little bit and racing too hard there on the start?
Cold tires, and I bombed out over the bump there on the exit of the curbing, and it kicked me sideways, and it net coated gaming on the left rear.
I was about to say, I definitely thought it was some net code there. So I know we know for a fact that you would never get up there and try to do anything like that to anybody. You've always been very clean, and it just seems like it's one of those things. You hate jumping those curbs, and like I know exactly what you mean. It's snapping the car like that. But Josh, overall, to come back into that third place position, you can't be. I mean, I know you definitely probably are disappointed in tonight, but in a sense, to be able to recover like that and get back into third place for someone like me, I would already been off the rig and everything after that happened to me. I would have felt so bad. But Susie, I just got to say, it's one of those things. Do you think going into next week, this is going to be one of those things you're going to have to just absolutely fight now, or what do you got cooked up here going into Bristol?
Well, I like Bristol, and I usually run pretty good there. As long as we can get some long green flag racing. It looks like I got somewhere around 11 points and a bunch of position over 12th or 13th with the cutoff. So I got some wiggle room. I hope I feel better next week. I'm fighting a very, very bad stomach virus right now.
I was about to say we can definitely tell you're not your usual self here on the mic. You're usually a little bit more you know upbeat with it, but reckon with your teammate there at the start might not help it. But hey, I do hope you feel better, man. And going into next week at Bristol, I know it's going to be tough on you guys, but with the cushion, you got a little bit there leeway. But I think you guys are going to be back on the right track there next week. But hey, hopefully you feel better, Susie. And man, if you've got any final words, thoughts, shout outs, or anything before we let you get out of here, you're more than welcome to get them out, and we'll let you go.
Yeah. First and foremost, as always, Nitro Setups. Just want to shout out to Gaming Man. I probably took that race win away from him with that. You can't control the net code, but I know he was the fastest car in the server, and I put him behind the 8 ball lap one, turn one. So I'm sorry for that, man. And I'll remember the bus stop and the other half of the lap to Zarfos costing me 2.5 seconds coming to pit road. I think there's a little team structure stuff going on there, but can't prove it. It's just something you file away in the back of your head and use later if needed. Everyone on the team, great job tonight. Way to battle, stick it out. I know road courses aren't the most fun or favorite for a bunch of people, so they gave it their all, and I couldn't ask for more for the squad around me. And we'll come back next week, Bristol, and hopefully be as strong as we were in the spring there. And as always, thank you all for the broadcast, and hopefully I get to talk to you again next week.
Yeah, hopefully we do, man. Hopefully you're feeling better, Josh. You have a great race at Bristol next week. But again, get better tonight, man, and enjoy the rest of your week, what you can, and hopefully, like you said, we'll be talking to you next week at Bristol.
All right. Thank you.
Man, you can tell Chris, he sounded rough, man. I couldn't even think about racing the race car feeling like that.
That's
That
what I'm
just shows
saying.
you, even though we're sim racing, it takes a lot out of you to do something like that. So good on Susie to come out here, get some points, not only get some points but finish third. He heard of himself. He's got some cushion going into next week. But you can definitely tell it's not only the sickness, Chris. He definitely feels bad for what happened with him and his teammate. And you got to think, who could it have been tonight if that didn't happen in turn one? But Chris, if you've got any final words before we get out of here, you're more than welcome to throw them out. We'll let the fans get on their way.
Yeah, just a big shout out to everybody out there on the YouTube who has been watching, who is still watching right now. Do apologize about what happened. Don't know. It said I don't know if it said I had a packet loss or something. Not really sure. Never had that happen before. I've never had the game crash like that. So that's very interesting. Gonna have to go back and look into that. But just big shout out to everybody in the Full Throttle series. Everybody in the background that's doing everything. Runs the races. I know Fitz does all the races for at least the Cup series. So appreciate him for doing all of this. And Robbie for letting us do this. Everybody that sits out there and watches us, yap on that. I really appreciate y'all. But I'm really looking forward to Bristol next week. It's one of my favorite tracks to watch.
Yeah, it'll be getting down and dirty at Bristol, and we're excited to see you guys there next week. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the race here tonight until that last lap there, until you had to listen to nothing but my voice and see a black screen. But other than that, we appreciate everyone who has come out tonight, and hopefully, we'll be seeing you next week at Bristol. And trust me, you aren't going to want to miss it because I feel like we're going to have a good field, Chris, but I also feel like we're going to have even better race. Something you're not going to want to miss. It's elimination time. People are going to be punching each other in the teeth, theoretically, in the video game. So it's going to be fun to watch. But hey, it's been a blessing to be here with you guys tonight at Watkins Glen, where hopefully we'll see your beautiful virtual faces next week when we hit the streets of Tennessee. to go to Bristol. So, hey, this has been Chris and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth saying thank you once again, and we will see you guys next week.